December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy. The United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan.
This is the Eduard 48 scale Mitsubishi A6M2 Type 21 fighter. If that sounds like a long name to you, the Allies agreed. That's why they called it the Zeke, or the Zero. The Zero comes from the designation Type 0, being the last digit of the year 2600. You see, while the West referred to the year as 1940, the Japanese referred to the year as 2600, being 2600 years since their first emperor, Emperor Jimmu. The Zero was produced by Mitsubishi. Mitsubishi produced about 1,100 of these planes between the years 1940 and 1945, and they found that the Zero was a superior dogfighter and could outfight just nearly any plane it encountered. But by the end of the war, it was reduced to kamikaze missions. The Allies had an interesting problem. That was that the P-40 and the Zero had a very similar outline. The Allied servicemen would either shoot both of them down, or they'd hesitate and get blown up by a Zero. So their solution was to call in Ronald Reagan, who was a movie star at the time, to explain to the troops the difference between the P-40 and the Zero.
All right, let's see if you can do your wefting on the Zero.
Yes, sir. Wings, leading edge tapers, trailing edge tapers, tips rounded, slight dihedral angle.
You might add to that there are two 20mm cannons mounted one in each wing, probably Swiss Oerlikon guns.
Yes, sir. Here's something I didn't know about, sir.
Huh? Oh, yes. The wingtips can be folded so as to utilize more space in a carrier. Incidentally, the span is 39 feet 4 inches. All right, go on with the engine.
Engine, radial, Mitsubishi version of our Cyclone.
That's right. There are twin-row 14 cylinders. Now for the fuselage.
Retractable landing gear with fairing plates. Say, there seems to be one gear missing, sir.
The gears are operated hydraulically. As a result, the wheels retract alternately.
I guess there are a couple of things I don't know about this airplane, sir.
I'm glad to hear you admit it. That's the beginning of wisdom. There's another feature worth noting. The entire fuselage is flush riveted. With the result, there are very few protuberances to cause wind resistance. The length is 28 feet 5 inches. There's a pair of machine guns mounted in grooves above the cowling. They're 7.7 millimeter, and they're synchronized to fire through the propeller. I hope you don't ever get them on your tail.
I'm with you there, sir.
Now that's enough talking, and let's get to looking. I got the box right here, and you can see that it's a rather beautiful box with the Zero on the front. You'll notice that there's two of them. That's because this kit contains two planes. You can make two planes out of this kit. On the side here, you'll find the different squadron markings. Now, the interesting thing about these squadrons is, obviously, these were the squadrons that attacked Pearl Harbor. But these were also the squadrons that were in the Battle of Midway. So the Americans, as they shot down the planes during the Battle of Midway, they were exacting their revenge on the same planes, the same pilots, the same aircraft carriers that attacked Pearl Harbor. Opening the box now, you can see all the sprues inside. You'll see that there's the canopies, first of all. Again, you'll notice that there's two sets of canopies for two planes. And all the sprues, once again, two propellers for two planes. The bombs and the drop tanks. And the fuselage. Well, fuselage is, as again there's two of these bad boys in this kit. Here's the decal sheet. Some very detailed and fine decals. And naturally it has the meatball or the red sun. The interesting thing about the red circle for the Japanese roundel was after Pearl Harbor, when the Americans realized they'd be fighting the Japanese, they thought, well, we have a red circle in the middle of our roundel, and the Japanese have a red circle in the middle of theirs. That's not too good of an idea. And so before Midway, they had all of the Allied planes take that red circle out of the middle of theirs. And so the Japanese kind of won the right to the red circle on theirs. And the photo witch. You'll find, of course, it's the same because, well, there's 2 planes in this kit. Lastly, the instruction manual. Now, the nice thing about this instruction manual is that it also has historical information about the attack on Pearl Harbor. The kind of title on this kit is Tora Tora Tora. The Tora 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 comes from the Japanese word for tiger 3 times. The tiger meaning surprise. Because, well, you know, tigers are pretty surprising if they jump on you when you don't expect them. And so when the Japanese fighters radioed in Tora 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 to the Akagi aircraft carrier, that meant that they had successfully surprised the Allies in the attack and had reached their targets. Now on the last page here, you have all the paint schemes, so you can accurately paint the miniatures as the same planes that attacked Pearl Harbor. And it has some more historical information on the top there about these planes. Here's the decal sheet for all the smaller details. Look how detailed those are. Look how small those are. And naturally, there's 2 of these. Now, if you want one of these, you can go on into MRS Hobby Shop in Sandy or Salt Lake City, Utah. Or you could go on to kitlinks.com and search Eduard 11155. That'll find you the kit. And, well, gee, I'd show you a finished one, but nobody's built one yet. So, you could be the first. And I hope you do, because it's a real fun one. And good luck, and have fun building. We'll see you next time.